How you doing, guys? For a long time I've been on a quest for a good concealed carry holster, not just one necessarily, but any kind, because especially down here in Florida where you're just going to be wearing a t-shirt and shorts a lot of time just because of the weather, it's really hard to find something that you can conceal your weapon securely, comfortably, and actually conceal it without being like especially a large person with loose baggy clothes or winter clothing and stuff like that. I'm not a super huge person. I'm only about 5'11", 165 pounds. I don't wear super baggy clothes, and I don't wear a lot of clothes mostly simply because of the weather, so it's really hard to find a good option for a lot of concealed carry applications that allows you to wear the thing without looking like you're pregnant, or without it being obvious what it is, or without it being incredibly uncomfortable, or not secure. And I tried a bunch of different stuff. If you're wearing pants, you can go for an ankle holster, but those usually are pretty obvious if you have a larger gun or even just a smaller gun that's not super tiny, and they're really obvious a lot of times too. And they can be secure and everything, and they can be concealed, but you can just see the bulge in your pants a lot of times if you're not carrying a really small weapon. Inside the waistband holster is the same thing. If you if you want to carry a decent sized weapon, it's going to be hard to conceal it. They can be uncomfortable no matter where you put it. There's some places, like if it's in the smaller back, sitting may be a problem. If it's in the front, you know, sitting may also be a problem because of the crease. You can have the thunderwear type situation where it's down beneath the actual belt line, but then that can be kind of unsightly, and it can be uncomfortable too if you're not wearing it right. There's a lot of ones that can be comfortable, but one thing that had interested me for a while was the idea of concealed but outside the waistband holster. So you can see the holster itself, but you don't know that you're necessarily carrying a gun. Sort of like the idea of using a hip pack or a purse or something like that and just carrying the gun in it, but something specifically just for a gun, not necessarily for everything else, like a purse or a hip pack. Something that's just there for the gun. And one of the things I came across were fake cell phone cases, or something that's designed to look like a case for a large, like a PDA or a smartphone, because people don't really use PDAs anymore. And one of the brands I came across was something called Sneaky Pete. They're a small company. I think they're actually manufactured in Florida. I don't remember, but they're a small company. I came across them, and it's like a leather case, just a square leather case. It fits on your belt on the outside and just has a magnet closing flap, and it's sized for different types of weapons, and that way you can legally carry your gun concealed. Yeah, you can see that there's something there. You don't necessarily know it's a gun, and you don't have to worry about whatever you're wearing. As long as whatever you're wearing can support something clip onto the belt like that, you're good to go. And that had a lot of appeal to me, simply because sometimes you just need to get something on there, or maybe you have the gun in your car and you just need to carry it in somewhere or go somewhere with it, and you don't have, your setup working for like carrying anywhere else, so you just want to be able to put it on and go, have it be secure, have it be fairly comfortable, and have it be legal. So I called them up, or I emailed them, I guess, and asked them if they'd be willing to send me one for a review, and they told me to blow it out my ass. No, not really. They were polite, but they wouldn't send me one. They said they get a lot of people asking for them, promising to do reviews just to get free stuff and never end up doing it, which I guess is a good excuse, or I mean a good tactic for those people. But so whatever, they were reluctant to do it, so they didn't do it. So I went ahead and bought one, and the issue was I wanted to try it out because I'm planning at some point to get either a Ruger LCP or something along those lines. It's much smaller, because right now the only weapons I have that are really concealable are a Springfield Subcompact XD and a Kimber 1911. And I love both those guns, but the Springfield's, it's short, but it's really fat, so it's hard to conceal that way. And the Kimber is thinner, but it's really heavy, and it's not really that small, even though it only has a 3-inch barrel. It's still a fairly large gun. So when you're talking about the LCPs and stuff like that, it would be a lot easier to conceal with any kind of holster. So I just got this one for the Kimber simply because that's all I had right now, and I wanted to test the concept. So here's the Sneaky Pete holster in its case. Now, as you can see, the idea, while it works this exact same for a larger gun like this as it would for something like an LCP or a Kel-Tec, the container is comically huge, so you wouldn't necessarily really want to use this walking around because it just looks absurd. It's too large. So this would be it right here. So obviously you can see that having this on your belt, it's almost as big as my head, is certainly doable. I mean, I've worn this just to see how it works, and it works fine. It's comfortable and everything. This gun's fairly heavy and it still worked well. It has double belt clips on the back. These are just tension. And I think they have the option to get ones with the actual belt clips. I don't remember. I'll have to check the website. It's got, other than the little SP here, Sneaky Pete, black leather, like padded with and a magnet closure. That's all it would look like. It's just a giant case of some kind. I don't think anyone looking at this would think it was a gun. They'd think you were some kind of weird nerd carrying around a belt purse or something like that. But it would get the job done. You could carry it legally and concealed and without any issues, even though it is extremely large. So you can imagine that something for a LCP would probably only be about that big, you know, much closer to the size of an actual cell phone case or something. It would draw a lot less attention. But as you can see, here is the inside of the container. It's blocked off here so that the gun can only go in one way. So it is polarized for right or left hand carry. And before anyone complains, yes, my Kimber is locked and loaded with the safety on and condition 1. That's how I carry it. So if you guys don't like that, you can just eat my shorts. If you don't know how to practice proper gun safety for a gun that's loaded and not safety on, then that's your problem, not mine, so don't bitch at me. But as you can see, it's blocked off on the inside, so the gun fits in one way very securely. When it's in there, there's not a lot of like no movement of any kind. I mean, like, there's nothing, it doesn't move around. And obviously this is just a magnet closure, but you would really have to go pretty parkour style backflips and stuff to make this thing come out of here. I've never had any issues with it even moving. It's just a little bit of friction and then the gravity and this flap holds it in. Magnet's fairly strong. Never had this thing like flap open. Even if it does, it kind of just goes back down. So like I said, unless you were doing some crazy shit, this would be pretty secure. And I like the look, the black leather. It's well made, it appears to be. Haven't had any issues with this. I haven't worn it a lot in like actually just going out and doing errands and stuff like that. What I will use is I just store it in this. Like if I'm going in the car, I'll throw it in this because it's better than having it loose in some kind of bag. You can't tell what it is. And so you could even have this sitting on your car seat if you have your concealed carry permit. And it would be easy to get to, and it doesn't look like a holster or anything like that. That way you can take it out of your car, carry it in somewhere or whatever, and if you need to, you can just grab it, put it on, and use it as a holster in the event that you would need it. So for guns this size, I wouldn't recommend it for an everyday carry type holster, simply because it does look a little bit, I don't know, not suspicious, but it's a little bit curious because of the size. It doesn't, no one would really know what it was. It would draw a little bit of attention, but other than that aspect, it's certainly serviceable in terms of a actual concealed carry holster outside the waistband belt holster. So if you really just don't have any other options and you just need a way to be able to carry something around for a little while, this is a great way to go. And I like keeping it in this because no matter what I'm wearing, if I just need to grab it and go, I can grab it, stick it on my belt, and then head out. And so then if I want to use another holster, I'll just put that holster on and it comes out easily enough like that. And so I'd really like to eventually, when I get the Ruger LCP, get one of these and test it out as an actual like everyday carry type holster. So if any of you guys have a Ruger LCP, I recommend you check these guys out. Like I said, I bought this. They don't know I'm doing this review. It's not paid or anything like that. This is based purely on my experience with this. I've had this for over a year now, and other than a couple little scratches from throwing it in a bag with other things, it's held up really well. It looks professionally made. The clips are strong and they don't come off too easily. It's double clipped on the back there. Some of the smaller ones may only have one clip, I'm not sure, but this one has double, and it's really worked well for me. So I would recommend this as an option for those of you who want an outside the waistband concealed holster. I'll throw up a link in the description to their website, and you can check out what they have. I haven't actually been there in a while, so they may have a lot more options than they did when I got this. And so yeah, I'm happy with it so far, and I'm really anxious to when I do eventually get something much smaller, like a little 380, I think this would be a good option for something like that. So check it out if you guys like it. Let me know if you have one or something similar. Let me know how it works, and if it is still too big to really, you know, not be noticeable, or let me know if it works really well. So thanks, guys. Oh yeah, and if you go down there, tell them you watched my video, and maybe they'll feel bad about not sending me one.